Hello, I want to welcome you to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how to make your first sale as a realtor. Now, you've been a realtor for a long period, you've not made a first sale at all. This is a video for you. So this video is for those who are new realtors. You just joined the real estate industry, you don't know how to navigate, how to make sale. This video is for you. You've been a realtor for a while, but you're struggling to make a first sale. This video is also for you. And also you are looking for side or full-time income, passive income or full-time income, this video is also for you. And anyone who is tired of the financial situation and want to see a change in 2026, this video is for you. So I want you to just do one thing for me. Just go ahead and click the share button on this video. Share this video with people in your network so that more people can see it and we can trigger the algorithm. Go ahead also, as you watch and you like what you're seeing, drop a comment in the comment section, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel so that when I drop another video like this, you can get, to see on time. All right, so let's get started. So we had a webinar 2 weeks ago where we introduced you to what real estate business is all about. Now, peradventure you missed that video, then I would like you to watch. I'll just take time to explain a few things we touched in that video in this current one so that you can be updated with what we've done and what now get going to what we have for today. So, what is real estate? Real estate refers to land and anything permanently attached to it, including buildings, natural resources, and improvements made to the property. So, real estate is when you buy land and you make improvements on the land. You are really building up the real estate. Now, what is real estate business itself? Now, real estate business is any commercial activity that involves buying, selling, renting, managing, or developing real estate properties for profit. So anytime you buy a landed property and you develop it, maybe you built a house on it, maybe you plant a farm on it, you plant crops, and you now decide to sell it for profit. That is what is called a real estate business. So who can do real estate business? Anybody. All you need, is just the passion. Who can do real estate business? Anyone who is tired of their financial situation. I mentioned that some few minutes ago. If you're tired of your financial situation, your income is not taking you till the end of the month, you are always needing an urgent 2K to survive, then you need to do real estate to earn a good income. Also, anyone who is hungry to make money legitimately. Now, the money made here is very legitimate, and real estate business is one of the oldest businesses on earth. And so it's something anybody and everybody can do. Anyone who is looking for an additional income source, maybe you already have a job, but then your salary is nothing to write home about, or you're even earning well and you want to earn more, then welcome to the real estate business club, if I may call it that. Or anyone who wants to create passive income, you want to earn passively without doing much work. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you will not work at all, but then you work to a level where the passive income takes over. I'll explain that, along the line as we talk about what we're sharing tonight. And anyone who wants to create wealth. Now, there's virtually any wealthy person in the world today that does not have a large chunk of their assets, embedded in real estate. You talk about Otedola, Dangote, Adenuga, even in the global scene, they all have a large chunk of their investment, of their net worth tied to real estate. Now, who is a realtor? Because we need to define these things for you to get clarity on what we're doing tonight. A realtor is a middleman between property developers and buyers or investors. So you have a property developer who has developed a property, he needs to make a sale, or you have a buyer who is looking, or an investor who is looking for a property. Then you can be the middleman between the two of them, connect both the developer and the buyer stroke investor together, and you earn a commission in the process. So that's what we do as realtors. We're just middlemen. Now, there are different kinds of properties you can sell in this real estate business space. You can sell land, that's bare land. You can sell a building, that's a land with a building on it. You can sell agro real estate where plants, cash crops are planted on the land. You can sell what is called real estate cashback. This is a pool of funds used for investment into real estate. When get into the cashback, that means you're getting a return on investment after investing into the program. These are the products we sell at our company, Aluvia Properties. Now, very important. I mean, nobody's doing this for charity. How do realtors earn? We are not doing a free business for everybody. We are making money in the process. So how do we earn? There are three ways we earn in this business. One is through what is called direct commission, which is 10 to 15% on every transaction, on every sale. So imagine now as a realtor, you sold a property worth 20 million naira. 15% of that commission is 3 million naira. You earn it. It's very easy to calculate your commission as a realtor. I mean, it's a big business. Imagine you sell a property for 100 million naira, you can actually get 10 to 15%. So if you're earning 15% commission on that transaction, I mean, that's about 15 million naira, just like that. You understand? Now, that's direct commission. Now, there's now indirect commission. This is where passive income comes in. Now, as a realtor, you can also build a team of realtors where you become the team lead of that group. Now, if anybody that sells under you, you know, that's the person you now refer to the platform, to the company that you're selling for. If they make a sale, they will earn the direct commission, but you will earn an indirect commission as the person that brought in this realtor. So if your direct downline, let me use that word, makes a sale of 20 million naira, he or she will earn the 15%, which is the 3 million, while you will earn the indirect commission of 600,000 naira, because that's 3% of 20 million naira. Now that's good money. Now imagine now you have in your team three, five, 10 people who are hardworking and constantly making sales. Then you begin to earn passive income. It looks like you're not working, but you have actually worked to build the team. But then these are the kind of income you earn that is passive, that just comes in addition to your own direct commission. So imagine in a month you're able to make a direct commission of maybe 5 million naira, another indirect commission of 3 million naira. That's good money. Or in a bad month when you couldn't make any sale by yourself, because sometimes such happens, then the indirect commission kicks in, which also give you money to sustain yourself at that period. So you can see that that's how we earn through direct and indirect commission. Hello, I want to welcome you to my channel, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how to make your first sale as a realtor. Now, you've been a realtor for a long period, you've not made a first sale at all. This is a video for you. So this video is for those who are new realtors. You just joined the real estate industry, you don't know how to navigate, how to make sale. This video is for you. You've been a realtor for a while, but you're struggling to make a first sale. This video is also for you. And also you are looking for side or full-time income, passive income or full-time income, this video is also for you. And anyone who is tired of the financial situation and want to see a change in 2026, this video is for you. So I want you to just do one thing for me. Just go ahead and click the share button on this video. Share this video with people in your network so that more people can see it and we can trigger the algorithm. Go ahead also, as you watch and you like what you're seeing, drop a comment in the comment section. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel so that when I drop another video like this, you can get, to see on time. All right, so let's get started. So we had a webinar 2 weeks ago where we introduced you to what real estate business is all about. Now, peradventure you missed that video, then I would like you to watch. I'll just take time to explain a few things we touched in that video in this current one, so that you can be updated with what we've done and what now get going to what we have for today. So, what is real estate? Real estate refers to land and anything permanently attached to it, including buildings, natural resources, and improvements made to the property. So, real estate is when you buy land and you make improvements on the land. You are really building up the real estate. Now, what is real estate business itself? Now, real estate business is any commercial activity that involves buying, selling, renting, managing, or developing real estate properties for profit. So anytime you buy a landed property and you develop it, maybe you built a house on it, maybe you plant a farm on it, you plant crops, and you now decide to sell it for profit. That is what is called a real estate business. So who can do real estate business? Anybody. All you need, is just the passion. Who can do real estate business? Anyone who is tired of their financial situation. I mentioned that a few minutes ago. If you're tired of your financial situation, your income is not taking you till the end of the month, you are always needing an urgent 2K to survive, then you need to do real estate to earn a good income. Also, anyone who is hungry to make money legitimately. Now, the money made here is very legitimate, and real estate business is one of the oldest businesses on earth. And So it's something anybody and everybody can do. Anyone who is looking for an additional income source, maybe you already have a job, but then your salary is nothing to write home about, or you're even earning well and you want to earn more, then welcome to the real estate business club, if I may call it that. Or anyone who wants to create passive income, you want to earn passively without doing much work. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you will not work at all, but then you work to a level where the passive income takes over. I will explain that, along the line as we talk about what we're sharing tonight. And anyone who wants to create wealth. Now, there's virtually any wealthy person in the world today that does not have a large chunk of their assets, embedded in real estate. You talk about Otedola, Dangote, Adenuga, even in the global scene, they all have a large chunk of their investment, of their net worth tied to real estate. Now, who is a realtor? Because we need to define these things for you to get clarity on what we're doing tonight. A realtor is a middleman between property developers and buyers or investors. So you have a property developer who has developed a property, it needs to make a sale, or you have a buyer who is looking, or an investor who is looking for a property. Then you can be the middleman between the two of them, connect both the developer and the buyer stroke investor together, and you earn a commission in the process. So that's what we do as realtors. We're just middlemen. Now there are different kinds of properties you can sell in this real estate business space. You can sell land, that's bare land. You can sell a building, that's a land with a building on it. You can sell agro real estate where plants, cash crops are planted on the land. You can sell what is called real estate cashback. This is a pool of funds used for investment into real estate. When get into the cashback, that means you're getting a return on investment after investing into the program. These are the products we sell at our company, Alluvia Properties. Now, very important. I mean, nobody's doing this for charity. How do realtors earn? We are not doing a free business for everybody. We are making money in the process. So how do we earn? There are three ways we earn in this business. One is through what is called direct commission, which is 10 to 15% on every transaction, on every sale. So imagine now as a realtor, you sold a property worth 20 million naira. 15% of that commission is 3 million naira. You earn it. It's very easy to calculate your commission as a realtor. I mean, it's a big business. Imagine you sell a property for 100 million naira, you can actually get 10 to 15%. So if you're earning 15% commission on that transaction, I mean, that's about 15 million naira, just like that. You understand? Now, that's direct commission. Now, there's now indirect commission. This is where passive income comes in. Now, as a realtor, you can also build a team of realtors where you become the team lead of that group. Now, if anybody that sells under you, you know, that's the person you now refer to the platform, to the company that you're selling for. If they make a sale, they will earn the direct commission, but you will earn an indirect commission as the person that brought in this realtor. So if your direct downline, let me use that word, makes a sale of 20 million naira, he or she will earn the 15%, which is the 3 million, while you will earn the indirect commission of 600,000 naira, because that's 3% of 20 million naira. Now that's good money. Now imagine now you have in your team three, five, 10 people who are hardworking and constantly making sales. Then you begin to earn passive income. It looks like you're not working, but you have actually worked to build the team. But then these are the kind of income you earn that is passive, that just comes in addition to your own direct commission. So imagine in a month you're able to make a direct commission of maybe 5 million naira, another indirect commission of 3 million naira. That's good money. Or in a bad month when you couldn't make any sale by yourself, because sometimes such happens, then the indirect commission kicks in, which also give you money to sustain yourself at that period. So you can see that that's how we earn, through direct and indirect commission. Now, the other one now is called incentives. Incentives. Now, this can be international trips, cars, electronic gadgets, laptops, and many other things that people also win. But then this is tied to terms and condition. You need to be able to meet the terms and condition for the incentives before you can get them. All right. Like in the last video, I talked about how my wife's team were able to win a trip to Ghana last year. That was an incentive. It was an international trip. They had a nice time. They had events. Very nice place. And other incentives come up like that. But like I said, they are tied to terms and conditions. And if you're able to meet the terms and conditions, definitely you will get the incentives. All right. Now we're now going to the nitty-gritty of what we have, today. That is how to make your first sale as a realtor. I believe you're really, agitating, getting ready to hear this part. So let's go. So making your first sale as a realtor is less about luck and more about building trust, consistency, and a repeatable process. So the backbone of real estate business is that word trust. If people don't trust you, they won't commit to buying a property from you. That's the truth. People buy from someone they can trust. And also you need consistency, and you can repeat the process over and over again. Many new agents struggle not because they lack knowledge, but because they don't know how to turn activity into actual clients. Some are doing many activities, but they cannot close a deal, and it's all because you've not been able to build enough trust around what you're doing. Now, here's a practical step-by-step guide to help you close that first deal. So you've been there, maybe you are new altogether, or you've been around for a while, you're doing activities, you're not getting to close a deal. Then I want you to pay a lot of attention to the things I'll be sharing from this point onwards. Number one thing you need to note about closing a deal is that you need to understand what actually gets you paid. What really gets you paid in this space? What gets you paid? At its core, real estate income comes from closing transactions, not just showing houses or posting listings. For some, they just keep posting listings on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Go to a property, do a video tour and post, and that's just all. They don't respond to comments, they don't respond to anything, and they feel somebody will just call them from the blue, say, "Oh, I saw your property, come and buy. I'm coming to buy." No, no, no. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It could. But see, it's not just about all those activities, as important as they are, but more about you being able to close, those activities into a closed deal. Now, to get there to closing a deal, you need three things. One, you need leads. Very important. Leads is the life of any business. Leads are prospects. They are prospects. They are prospective customers, prospective clients who are showing interest in what you're selling. So the leads are people who may want to buy or sell through you. And the next thing you need that is very important is conversations. Now, when you get leads, you get to the next phase of conversing with them. You hold conversations. Why do you need to hold conversation? Conversation builds trust. I said it. The backbone of any sale in this space is the word trust. When you have conversation with an individual, they begin to study you. Is this person, can I trust this person? Can I commit this transaction into the hands of this person? I hope I'm not talking to a scammer. They begin to try to rate you. They begin to try to see through you, to know your intentions and the kind of personality you are before they can make up their mind that they want to proceed with the transaction or not. So conversation builds trust. So when you're conversing with people, know the right choice of words. Maybe the choice of words you're using does not represent you. Maybe it's vulgar. Maybe it's not professional enough. Somebody will want to deal a client or prospect will want to deal with someone who is more professional than the one that just talks like a tout. You know, Nobody wants to talk to a tout. Nobody wants to spend 100 million talking to a tout. They want to talk to a professional, someone that is holding conversation professionally and efficiently. So the next thing after conversation is there should be conversion. That is turning the prospect into a client. So your focus should always be moving people through this pipeline, the pipeline of lead to conversations to conversion. So maybe you have 100 leads. You can move that 100 leads. Maybe you're able to move about 20, 25 of them into having conversations with you. And eventually, maybe you're able to get one or two to buy. That's how it works. So it doesn't mean that it's all the people you're talking to that will come and buy from you. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to streamline from leads to conversations, then finally to conversion. Number two, build your personal brand early. This is very important. If you look through our YouTube channel and other social media handles, you see Aluva Property with a logo. Now you can either have a corporate image or a mix of corporate and personal branding. Any of it you choose is actually at your own discretion. So start simple. Create a professional presence on platforms like Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. Let people know what you do. Like I said, our logo, you see Aluwa Properties there. You can decide to go personal. My name is Rotimi. I can say Rotimi the Realtor. You know, you need a branding that makes people know what you do. Now, let's say you want to sell property, but then your Facebook and Instagram handle is showing Jesus baby. That doesn't mean somebody doesn't that is going to buy from you. That does not. Jesus baby, fine. It's your personal belief. It has nothing to do to show someone that you are a realtor. Your name, your handle, a lot of things on your page should be able to show people that you're a realtor. You tell yourself, you say you're a realtor. Your handle is showing Jesus baby, and you're showing dancing videos, and you're saying you're selling property. How does it align? It doesn't. Your content, your things, the things you post must be able to brand you for people to know, okay, at a glance, this is what this person is saying. They look professional, and I think I want to do business with them. So you need to do your branding very, very, your personal brand, build your personal brand very effectively from the onset. So, so other ways to show your branding is you show property listings, on your social handles, post property listings, or the company you're selling for, they're selling this property in this location at this price, show it. Market tips. You can create videos on giving tips for people who want to buy property. Like if you look around the videos on our social media handles, you see videos on how to avoid hormoniles and not have a hormonal issue. That video is really trending. I have a video on how you can buy property in Nigeria, as someone living in diaspora while not on ground. I have videos on land laws in Nigeria and how it affects you as an investor. So let people create content that educates your prospect about what they are going to get into. That gives them confidence to want to have dealings with you because they know they are being educated, in what you're doing. Short videos explaining buying and selling, you can create that behind the scenes of your work. If you look around on our platform, we have videos on how our clients, have been able to get allocation, land allocation. When people pay for landed property, the next thing is that the property needs to be allocated to them. You need to see the specific location and the things that identifies that they are the owner, the beacon that identifies with their names on it, that identifies their own land. There are videos. These are behind the scenes of our work. So all these things will give. You can imagine someone like some of the pictures I posted in the last webinar of client allocation where we show the name of the client on the booking of their landed property, their documents which were received and sent to them, and all these things shows credibility that, oh, these people know what they're doing. So you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be visible and consistent. Number three, start with your immediate network. Now, the major challenge with many new realtors is that they want to sell to people who don't know them. But then I said it earlier that in this business, trust is a key factor. Many times, someone who already knows you will find it easy to trust you compared to a new person. So, your immediate network is your warm client. Most of the time, your first sale will likely come from people who already know you, not necessarily strangers. Imagine someone that you went to school, primary school, secondary school, your cousin, those are members of your church who you teach Sunday school. They are most likely to warm up to you faster than someone who is seeing you for the first time and is trying to make up his mind whether he wants to do business with you or not. So start with your immediate network. Make a list of your family, your friends, your former colleagues, your church, your mosque, your community members. Look at where you work last. Did you work in a bank, in a corporate establishment? The people there, do they earn enough to buy a property? Those are the warm leads. Now the question is, did you relate well with them? Because those are the issues. If you don't have good interaction with those people, it becomes difficult for you to say, "Oh, I want to go back there and sell the property to them." So but then, like what I'm emphasizing is that people who already know you will find it easier to start doing business with you than strangers. Along the line, definitely you need to start selling to people you don't know at all. But from the start, it's a lot easier to start with the people that already know you. So members of your church, mosque, community members, even a WhatsApp group. The first set of sales that we made was through a WhatsApp group we belong to, a prayer WhatsApp group that we joined during COVID. And one of the ladies reached out to my wife, one conversation. I think she was posting on her WhatsApp status, said, "Oh, the lady lives abroad. That, oh, you are into real estate. Oh, I've wanted to buy real estate back home." Then she got interested. My wife was able to pitch what we sell to her, and she didn't even have to come to Nigeria. She made payment to the company. Please let your clients pay to the company account. Never receive money of your personal account for anyone. So the woman paid. and we went for the allocation. She got all her documents. She saw all the location. We sent all the videos to her. She was so happy. You know what happened next? She started telling every other woman on that group that Sister Shade does this. Oh. And the next thing, they reached out and started buying more. Then after, you can see the woman was the first person. She told her friends, they bought. Now they now went further by telling their family members. So from one person, we're able to network to many other people. So the people, like I said, the people that you already know, they are likely to buy first from you. So reach out to that your WhatsApp group, your old student organization group. Reach out. You know them, they know you. Those are your G's when you were in secondary school. You know, some rapport has been built, some measure of trust is there. Reach out to them. Your church, your mosque, those places where you work, reach out to people. So you can also reach out personally to people. Let them know you are now in real estate, as in people in this your old acquaintances. Let them know that this is what I do for a living. And one of the easiest ways to let people know what you do is your WhatsApp status. In fact, if you are not posting on your WhatsApp status as a realtor, you are leaving a lot of money on the table because it's the easiest thing that can promote you as an individual. Maybe your friends just say, "Oh, so you do real estate now?" Because you posted. If you didn't post, they are not going to know. So let them know you are now in real estate. And secondly, offer value. Very important. Always offer value to people. Like you can say, oh, I can guide you on how to buy palm tree farm that can continue paying you the next 50 years. That's value. That's an investment. Nobody will hear that and say they are not going to do business with you. Besides, that is one of the hottest products we're promoting now. That is land banking through agro real estate, where you plant palm trees on a land and it can continue yielding the next 50 years. On an hectare, you can earn as much as 6 million naira per annum or any time in the year when harvesting takes place. I'll talk more about it as we proceed in this video. Now, never beg people for business. Don't say, oh, if you don't buy from me, I'm going to faint. I'm going to die. You will not faint, you will not die. Don't say, if you don't buy from me, they're going to chase my children out of school because I've not paid school fees. You don't need all that. Don't use emotional blackmail. It belittles you. That's the truth. Position yourself as an authority, helpful and knowledgeable. Let people speak as an authority in this place. Oh, I'm a realtor. They ask you any question, you answer it. You have the knowledge, you can advise them. Oh, do this, do this, do this. This is what you get. If you buy this property, this is what you're going to get. If you want to sell, if you buy now, in the next 1 2 years, you can sell at an ROI of 30, 50, or even 100%. Build real value. Don't just blackmail people into emotions and start begging them. They will never value you if you go into begging. Let them see what they want to buy. Let them know the prospect. Let them know what they stand to earn as a return on investment if they are investing, or even if they are buying it for personal use like accommodation. Let them know the features. Your role there is to guide them, to make the best decision. Also, you need to master one lead generation. you know don't be a master of every sorry, a jack of every trade and a master of none. Many new realtors fail because they try everything at once. Today they are learning social media, tomorrow they are learning this, next tomorrow they are learning that. No, try to identify one or two methods of lead generation that works for you and stick with it. So here are the options. You can either do social media marketing, which involves maybe you're running ads on social media, or you're creating content on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, uh, LinkedIn also, it's a good one. LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, and the likes. Also referrals. Some people are good with referrals. You meet someone, you prospect them, they're telling you, oh, I'm not ready to buy now. But it's okay, fine. You may not be ready, but do you have a friend who might be interested in what I'm selling? And from there, say, okay, fine. Even though I'm not ready, I know a friend I just spoke to some days ago who is showing interest in purchasing property. Then ask him, please let me have his number. And the person is able to help you bring about that connection. So you can try that if it works for you with the referrals. Also, cold calling. After you've run ads, you get leads. You can call them. It's called cold calling, and introduce your products to them. Also, door to door or one to one, one on one prospecting. This involves you talking to individuals, one on one, trying to market them. Then, online property platforms, there are many of it in Nigeria where people list their properties, for selling. Also, you can hold webinar, like for me. things like webinar online really works for me. I hold webinars, seminars. It really works for me as a person. So seminar, maybe in your church, your mosque, your place of work, and you can do what is called market storm, or going to big events to speak to people. Like one of the members of my wife's, one of our colleagues actually reached out to her and say, "Hey, can't we just go and do a market storm? Can't we storm a park?" So I don't want to mention a big market in Lagos, wear our branded t-shirts and talk to people. The people do it, or they go to churches convention like Redeem Convention and other places, or special events where people will be talking about investment and money making. Storm those people places where you have a gathering of people. So whichever of these methods works for you, stick with it. Everybody will not do the same thing. Just identify the one that works for you as an individual and works for your personality. What matters is consistency. Consistency. Not that you do social media today, you do Storm tomorrow, you do door to door next tomorrow, you do online property platform. You just be jumping. Stick with one or two and be consistent with it to get the best result. Consistency beats variety. It's better to master one channel than dabble in five. All right, next one is the fifth point. Learn how to qualify your clients. There's psychology in qualifying people, knowing their worth, whether what you want to sell to them is what they can afford or not. This is very important so that you save yourself some unnecessary hassles. Now, not everyone is ready to buy or sell. Some will just waste your time by conversing for several days, weeks, or months, and nothing will really come out of it. But you need to qualify your clients, your prospects. You need to identify serious prospects, by asking questions. Once you are having a conversation with someone, begin to ask important questions. What is your budget range? Somebody who wants to buy a property will have a budget range. Oh, it says the property I want to buy should be in the range of 20 to 30 million, or 50 to 70 million. The person is serious. The person has money. Somebody who doesn't have money will not be calling some figures for you. So that way whether that person is serious or not. Then you may ask the person timeline. When do you want to pay? It says, okay, I will pay next month, in 2 months time, or next week. The person is serious. you know you may also ask, do you want an instrumental payment plan? And I tell you, this one is a deal breaker anytime, any day. You know, so letting clients know of instrumental payment plan can help you close a lot of deals. So if you are not closing deals, maybe you are not selling this option to your clients, or maybe the company you're dealing with doesn't have this particular option for its product. Sometimes people can be greedy as realtors. You say a property is 30 million, pay everything upfront. Sometimes the people you want to sell to don't have that kind of money immediately. It doesn't mean they are not worth it over time. They are, but they cannot pay that chunk immediately. So some people like to go for instrumental plan. I remember some years ago I saw the video of a very important real estate mogul in Lagos, running a big real estate company. And he said that when he started real estate business with his wife, then they began to share flyers every morning, 6 a.m. And for 6 months, back to back, they never made any sale. But one thing they did during that period is they got a lot of leads, a lot. People that they were sharing flyers to, they'll collect their phone number. Then one day, the thought just came to him that, okay, we've been trying to sell. Do you know what it means? The consistency, 6 months, every day, Monday to Friday. It's a busy place where people pass, they share flyer, they get the number, but nobody bought until they came up with the idea of having an instrumental payment plan. So what did they do? They got all the phone numbers they've collected and they ran a bulk SMS with it and sent a message in the SMS that instrumental payment plan now available. That was a game changer. People started, Orders started coming in, people started buying. So that means it's not as if those people didn't have money, but they didn't have the bulk money, but they were willing to commit to instrumental payment. And that was what changed the game for them. And they were able to make a lot of sales, a lot of sales. So letting your client know about instrumental payment plan is a good one. So let's say the property you are selling is what, 30 million naira, for instance, and the initial payment is maybe 10% of that amount, which is 3 million or 5 million or 10 million. Let them know so that they pay that, and over time they pay the balance. Now, the truth is that once somebody makes the initial payment, they will commit themselves to balancing the payment, because nobody wants to just pay, and let the money go like that. And the beautiful thing is that Even if they are doing it instrumentally, you as a realtor, you are earning your commission. So it's not as if you are going to lose. The only thing is that if you sell in bulk at once, you get bulk commission. But if they spread it, each time they make payment, you still make the commission. So either ways, it's a win-win situation. So do always sell instrumental payment plan, because once they have paid the initial installment, they will be obliged to complete the entire payment. Also, specific needs. What is the need of your client? What location do they want? What property type? Do they want open land? Do they want agro real estate? These are questions you need to ask and have them tell you so that you know what their specific needs are. This saves time and helps you focus on people most likely to close. That is, deals you are most likely to close. Now, very important, build trust quickly. Real estate business rests on trust. Trust is the word. People don't just buy property, they buy trust. And imagine somebody sending money from abroad without even coming down. That's trust. Because they believe they are dealing with you, you are their go-to person, you are their connect to this other company. So it's trust. People don't buy products, they buy trust. Close the trust and the sale will follow. Trust is the real currency in sales. Once you've earned it, closing becomes a natural next step. So always secure people's trust. People will pay money from abroad to buy property in Nigeria without being on ground just because they trust you. I'm telling you, that's very key. We've seen it happen in our own business dealings. So, how do you build trust? One is honesty. Be very honest, be sincere, be open. Even if it means losing a deal, still be honest. Don't say, this person is not going to buy from me now. Why should I tell them this information? Be honest. Be honest. Be honest at all times. Honesty is the best policy, because that person eventually will say, oh, why do I need to go elsewhere? This person has been open and honest with me. Let me just complete the transaction with him or her. Then, secondly, to build trust, know your market prices. Not that somebody comes to you for you want to buy property and is asking you what's the price. He said, "Wait, give me a minute. Let me call someone." He said, "Oh, it's 20 million." He says, "Oh, sorry." You call back. Sorry, it's not 20 million again. It's actually 35 million. They won't trust you. So you need to know your prices. You need to know your location. Don't say, "Okay, that property is in Abeokuta." I say, "Sorry, no, it's not Abeokuta again. It's actually Ibadan." Be consistent. It's all about trust. You also need to know the trends. Then respond quickly to messages and calls. See, you are doing business. If you see a missed call from your prospect, call back. Not that somebody's calling you 10 times, you're not picking, and you want to make sales. It doesn't work that way. Or the person is sending you messages, you're not responding. Three, four, five, six, seven messages, you're not responding. No, you don't close deals that way. Respond quickly to messages and calls. Dress professionally and communicate clearly. You know, if clients feel safe with you, they will stick with you. That's the truth. You only need the first time to make a first impression on people. Dress the way you want to be addressed. Dress like someone who is selling property and is confident the way they look. I saw a post recently, my wife sent it to me, about a young lawyer that got to Abuja and he was still trying to settle down, accommodation, staying in the outskirts. So someone connected into a client who wanted to buy a property. So the client invited him over so that they could discuss and complete the transaction. Now, being a lawyer. Now, when he appeared at that person's, place, one, it wasn't officially dressed as a lawyer. It wasn't even looking like a lawyer. It was just wearing t-shirts and jeans and not looking too good. Okay, the man decided to overlook that, asked him to sit down. They started conversation. Then the client asked, okay, this property I want to buy is worth 1 billion naira. This guy said, as in the shock was written all over his face. At that instant, that person lost the trust that, hey, has this guy never said 1 billion naira before? Why is it looking like this? Why is he looking so shocked? So the man told him, say, just go and stay at the restaurant, at the reception. I'll call you. So he went and sat at the reception. Then they sent someone to come and tell him that, sir, you can go home. We'll call you back later. Till today, they didn't call him back again. Why? He wasn't dressed professionally and he wasn't confident. He didn't communicate clearly. So even if he's a good person, a good lawyer, it's not just about how good you are. What you look like, how you dress can go a long way for people to decide to trust you, or not. So he lost the deal. And he said in that write-up that even up till now, he has not gotten a deal of that kind of amount. Imagine that loss. Number seven, partner with experienced realtors. Your first deal doesn't have to be a solo effort. You know, some people like to say, me, only me. I was able to start the whole thing and I was able to close the deal all by myself. You go stay there. Oh. You don't need to fight it through all by yourself. No. Leverage on the experience of others. A senior colleague can help you close a deal. You're talking to someone, it gets to a point, you are stuck. Say, sir, please, my senior colleague is here, let them talk to you. Now, the senior colleague has experience. He knows the right words. He has dealt with rejection from clients before. He knows the right thing. He or she knows the right thing to tell this person to close the deal. Let them do it. That's it. See, that's why you need to belong to a team. And part of what we're doing on this platform is we're creating a team of realtors so that we can help the younger ones, we can mentor them so that they can become successful in this business. So you can work with a team for group campaign. Sometimes going solo by yourself is not the best. If you're not the outgoing type, you cannot do a lot of things by yourself. You need the encouragement and the help of a team to grow in this business. Now, how does this help you? It makes your learning process faster. Imagine somebody senior is able to help you, close the deal. You heard the specific things the person said that closed the deal. That means you can repeat the same thing and get similar results. It also, when you're working with a team, it helps you avoid costly mistakes. Probably you are making some costly mistakes. That's why you're not been able to close the deal. By the time you work with a team, you realize those mistakes and you're able to correct it next time. Also, it helps you to gain credibility. Now, another thing that will help you make your first deal is to sell trending properties. Hmm. See, trending properties are easier to sell than the one that is not trending. No, there is real estate, there is real estate. The one that is trending, we say a trending product in real estate simply means properties that are currently in high demand based on buyer behavior, lifestyle shifts, and economic conditions. Instead of trying to sell just any property, focus on what buyers are actively searching for right now. What is hot? What is a hot product in the real estate space now? That is what you should be selling because the people are already aware of it. Is why this matters. If you align with demand, you spend less time convincing. A product that is hot selling requires less convincing. Okay, for example, when Dangote was trying to build uh, his refinery at around the place he built it in Lagos, that area is even up to now it's still a hot location. So that one is a trending location to sell. It's not just selling anyhow. Go to places where things are happening, where product is trending. You spend less time convincing someone to buy in such a location. It's like saying now that they want to build the Fort Mainland Bridge at Ikorodu. You know that that is the next location. Dangote refinery, things will appreciate around that area. Buy, sell trending products. You close faster because people are already aware of what is happening in that area. So it becomes a lot easier to close a deal. Your marketing becomes easier because people are already interested. They are just waiting for the right person they can trust to buy from. So learn to sell trending properties. Sell the benefits and features of the property. Very important. Now, this is where many realtors get it wrong. Many realtors get it wrong here. They only describe features, but buyers make decisions based on benefit. So you need a combination of the benefits and the features so that they can get a broader view of what you're trying to sell. For example, just tell somebody, oh, come and buy a 3 bedroom apartment. That's a feature. But what is the benefit? Enough space for a growing family. You can explain that, oh, this 3 bedroom, the master bedroom is very big and massive. The bath and toilet and suite. The other rooms also have their bath and toilets and suite. That means for a growing family, that's enough space for everybody to have their own, room and ensuite toilet and bath to themselves. Sell the benefit. Also, feature close to main road. Don't just say close to main road. Fine, it's good, but let them understand the benefit is that it's easier to commute in that area and you save time daily. You save cost of transportation. You save fuel. That's the benefit. You don't just say 24/7 security. It's good. I mean, we're in a situation in Nigeria where security is the order of the day. So having 24/7 security is good, but let them understand the benefit. That the benefit is that you have peace of mind and safety. Then other features and benefits you can add to it. Also, always sell what is within the budget of your client. And that's why, as a realtor, you need to have an array of products. from the low scale to the high scale so that you have something for everybody. Imagine you have a property of 300 million naira and your prospect is budget is 50 million naira. What you have is beyond the budget, but you must have a budget. You must have a property in the range of every class of people you are talking to. So that way, if today you close a deal of 10 million, next tomorrow you close a deal of 7 million, after that you close 30, 50, 100, there should be something for everybody. Sell what is within the interest of a client. If your client, for example, is interested in Lekki, but the property you have is at Mowe, don't continue convincing the person. Lekki to Mowe, they are poles apart. Rather, look for a property in Lekki for that person, because that is what the person wants. Then follow up relentlessly. Most false sales happen during follow up, not first contact. It's very rare to contact someone today and the person buys immediately. No, there needs to be follow up. Create a follow up system. Check in every few days or weekly. Oh, I just want to say hi to you. How are you doing? How is family? How is business? All right, enjoy your day, sir. You're just following. You know that, sir. You promised to pay last week. You did not pay. When are you paying? The person will just block your number or just ignore you. You know, you don't be too aggressive with follow. I'm not saying don't be aggressive at all, but don't be too aggressive so that you don't piss off the person you're trying to, to that's trying to buy from you. Don't scare them off by being too aggressive. Share new listings, and that's why, as a realtor, your easiest advertising platform or for posting is WhatsApp, your WhatsApp status. You know, WhatsApp is a soft way to follow people without sending them private messages. If you know the person watches your status, then post, share new listings, share updates or price changes. Imagine you're talking to someone that, oh, this property you want to buy goes for 7 million naira, but sir, I just posted that there's a new update that the price is going to change from 7 million naira to 9 million. But those who are able to pay in the next 2 weeks can still get it for 7 million. And tell you that person is the one that say, hey, hey, send me the account number, let me pay now. And you've been able to follow up, or you can even send a message, a direct message to that person. So I follow up to our conversation earlier on about this property. I told you it's 7 million naira, but the latest information from the company is that in the next 2 weeks the price is going up to 9 million. If you pay between now and then, you still get it at the old price. So follow up. Don't just say I've spoken to him, then I leave him and I'm just waiting. Nothing is going to happen in such a situation. So send updates of price changes. People may not be ready today, but consistency keeps you top of mind. I'll share this. I saw a video last year when this man's daughter got married, Femi Otedola. And Femi Otedola said that there's this realtor in Dubai that has been after him the last 15 years to go to come and buy property, which he has never bought up until last year. Now, that last year, his daughter Temi was to get married, and this realtor called him that, hey, sir, there's a property I'd like you to see. He's been going to see properties, but has never bought. So man jets, he's a big man now. He entered his jet and went off to Dubai with his daughter Temi. Now, when they got to Dubai, the guy showed them around the building, and the daughter said, "Daddy, Papa," she calls him Papa, Papa, I love this. Buy it. It was okay, fine. To honor my daughter that is doing a wedding, I'll buy it. And that was how the man bought. Now imagine this realtor has been following this man up for 15 years. That is tenacity. That is follow up. He didn't say each time he comes, he just checks property and goes without buying. So I beg, let him go. No, he followed up relentlessly. And coincidentally, the daughter needed the building, for her wedding, and the man finally bought. Imagine selling his own like $1 million. He buys in millions of dollars. Even let's say the building was $10 million. The commission this guy will eat, even if it's 10% commission, that's $1 million. I believe the guy was made for the year with that transaction. So that's how this real estate business, really works. All right, so turn one sale into many. Sincerely, one sale can bring in many sales. I shared our own testimonial with you how the prayer group we belong to, someone reached out to my wife. She bought. She told her friends in the group they bought. They brought their family members. They bought. See, real estate works a lot on personal relationships, referrals built from trust. So your first sale is just the beginning. After closing, always ask for referrals. Anybody that buys from you, even if it's a stranger, ask that person for a referral, because that person will have a friend who is who is at the same financial level or a higher level than this person. So if you were able to process this person transaction well and the person is able to like you and build trust, it will be easier to say, oh, okay, I have a friend who I believe should be interested in this. I'll connect you with that person, and that way you can make a sale. So always ask for referrals. Request a testimonial. Now, this is also important. Someone has bought from you, you can just, out of relation, say, sir, please, can you just do a video testimonial or a written testimonial? Now, when people see testimonials, it convinces them that you are real, you know what you're doing, and the transaction is a legitimate one. Then stay in touch with the client. You can send messages to them on birthday. See, make your client family. They are doing their wedding anniversary, be there. Their children are doing birthday, be there. On their own birthday, send message, send gift. Be a part of the family. If they need anything, you are the first go-to person they will call. So I said it here that one satisfied client can lead to multiple deals. So that may be the reason why you are not closing deals. Maybe once if somebody buys from you, that's the end to the next one. No, one person can lead to more and more deals for you. Now, there are some common mistakes you also need to avoid as a realtor. There are some common mistakes you need to avoid, and one of it is waiting for clients instead of prospecting. Don't wait for anybody. Just talk, just prospect. Let them know what you do. Let them know what you have to offer. Giving up too early. Don't give up. I shared the story of that man that waited for $10 for 15 years. Don't give up. Now, your own may not be up to that, though, because that requires a lot of endurance, not even patience. That's going to endurance. Don't give up too early. You know, sometimes people are not ready. First month, third month, fifth month, sometimes, but eventually they'll come around. Focusing only on social media without real conversation. When you're posting videos, build conversations. If people chat with you, respond to them promptly. Not following up. We've talked about follow up. Always follow up on your prospect. Always follow up. These are important things, the mistakes you need to avoid. All right, the product we're pushing for our company, the company we partner with is called Asset Rise, and they have a product, hot selling trending product is the Palm Ridge Estate Phase 9. Other phases, phase 2, phase 5, phase 7, phase 8 has been sold, all sold out. Now they're on phase 9, and tell it is about agro real estate land banking, where palm trees will be planted on a parcel of land and is expected 2 years, 2 to 3 years, it will grow fruit. The palm kernel is harvested, turned to palm oil, and the company will sell. The beautiful thing is that your clients are not doing anything. Once they buy, the company goes into management of this asset for them. So the company handles the planting, the growing, the harvesting, the selling. Though it's everything is not free, there'll be a sharing formula for the profit. So the profit sharing formula is 60 to 40. The client takes 60% of the profit while the company takes 40%. But then for the clients, even that 60% on 1 hectare will lead to 6 million naira per annum or every time the harvesting happens. And this business can run the next 25 to 50 years because one palm tree can continue fruiting the next 25 to 50 years. So that's a lifetime investment. Now, for the Palm Ridge Phase 9, so for the Palm Ridge Phase 9, the actual price is 8.5 million, but there's an ongoing discount where you can get it. Okay, pre-launch price is 7 million naira. And you can start with initial deposit of 1 million. You see what I said earlier? People can have an instrumental payment plan. They just pay an initial down payment, and with time they can, add up to it and complete the payment. So this is 1 acre, that's 6 plots, going for 7 million naira with a down payment of 1 million naira. Then if you are buying large, or your clients are buying a large number called SPV offer, 10 acres, that is 60 plots, goes for 69.1 million pre-launch price. Actual price is actually 85 million, but a pre-launch price of 69.1 million. And the initial down payment for this one is 7 million naira. Now let me show you. Now you say, oh, are people really selling this thing? Me, I'm not selling. Are you sure people are selling? People, and this is what I'm teaching you today, that they're practicing and they're selling. I'll give you an example of a couple of them. Here you have this person, you can see the name there, Nwachuku Chinedu, was able to sell 10 acres of Palm Ridge. Now, Palm Ridge commission structure, Palm Ridge Phase 9 cost 7 million naira per acre. So 10 acres cost 70 million at a direct commission of 15%. This guy walked home with 10 million and 50,000 naira. Now, it depends. If the client paid the entire 7 million as a go, then this guy will be credited with 10 million and 50,000. But if the client, makes the payment instrumental, at the payment of each installment, it will earn is 15% commission. All right, this is another person, that sold, let's see, 2 acres and 1 hectare of Palm Ridge Farm Phase 2 with a total commission of 2.5 million. And this other person sold the Palm Ridge Phase 9, 1 acre, 7 million, 15% commission, and 1,050,000. That's how people sell here. And this is the big one. This one sold 100 acres. I don't want to go into the calculation. This guy is made. All right. So we're rounding up here. Now, this is a revenue projection. If your clients are asking, what is the projection of this Palm Ridge? If you buy one plot, 10 trees will be planted. Why 10 trees on a whole plot? Because palm tree requires spacing. You can't just jam all the plants together. No, you need enough spacing. So one plot will have 10 trees, and by the time they are harvesting and converting the palm kernel to palm oil, they'll be able to generate 250 liters of palm oil. And this person will be able to make as much as 400,000 naira every time this harvesting and sale takes place. And for the 1 acre, that is 6 plots, 60 trees, 1,500 liters at 2.4 million naira every time the sale takes place. Now, if it's 1 hectare, that is 15 plots, 150 trees, 3,750 liters, and 6 million. And I tell you that this can be annual passive income. This is big business. One person, very popular in excuse me in the real estate space in Nigeria, bought 2,000 hectares recently, and this managed by the same asset rise real estate company. So there's a huge demand on this product, and you'll have been seeing videos on YouTube everywhere talking about palm tree land banking. This is the hottest product in the real estate space now, so it's a lot easy to sell. Sometime last year I created a video on how to avoid scam. Like, that's the time when CBEX happened, and I saw one person that lost 11 million naira into CBEX scam. You know that CBEX scam, you put in your money, at the end of 1 month you get 100%, and people really lost money. Yeah, some people made money initially, but eventually more people lost than those who made money. Now imagine that person that lost 11 million naira invested it into buying palm tree land banking. He owned a palm tree farm. Do you know how much that person will be making every year the next 25 to 50 years? The beauty of this is that if you feel at a point you don't need a farm anymore, you want to sell it, you can sell it. And the beauty is that it's going to be at a higher value because of the palm tree on it. So it's not just like selling land. You see, it's old school now to say you're doing land banking. You buy land, you leave it the next 20 years to appreciate the value before you sell. No, instead of leaving it bare like that, plant a crop on it. That's what we're doing with asset rise. The plant crop, they manage it for you. You just sit back and they credit you. Now, this 6 million, 2.4 million is the money you get after the company had deducted its own commission. So it's still a win-win. So you see, 1 hectare, you earn 6 million, and imagine every year you earn that. Now imagine if you have 20 hectares, you can earn as much as 120 million per year. Let's even say harvesting takes place once a year. If it is 100 hectares, that is 600 million from the palm oil alone. This is excluding the value of the land. If in case you choose to sell, you can see that people are making big multi-billion naira investment in real estate at this time. So if you are not started, you can start. We started our own. Oh. We are not just selling real estate, we are also buying. We are investors in this space. All right, so that's going to be the end of this video, which is from the previous webinar we had. Now, if you want to get started, part of what we are doing is that we're trying to build a team of realtors where realtors can be mentored to success in this business space. So in our mentorship program, we'll hold your hand. We can help you close your deals. But then you need to be signed up with us. Very important. Very, very important. So for you to get started, you can reach out to the person that sent you the link to this video so that, the person can get you properly registered with our partner company, and then we can send you all the flyer you can start marketing with. And if you have questions, we are very much available to answer you. All right, for further inquiries, you can contact these numbers. You can call or WhatsApp 23481 4310 6420, 23480 And also, if you're not in our WhatsApp group, just look somewhere around this video. You see the link that takes you to our WhatsApp group. Join us there also for further, inquiries, questions, and we'll be there to attend to you. All right. So if you enjoyed this video, you stay till the end like this, go ahead and click the like button. Share this video so that more people will see it. Drop a comment in the comment section to trigger the algorithm to show this video to more people. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel so that when next I drop another video like this, you will get to see it. I'll see you in another webinar in another video very soon. Take care, bye, and have a great week ahead.